Hey, y'all doing? Thank you for taking time on me again. Sorry, I've been posting a while. It's this podcasting thing kind of took over. I started about 2 months ago. I've done over 30. Got 20 more lined up. It just kind of blew up bigger than I thought it would. But like I said, the crazy thing about it is that I've been rocking this idea honestly since about 2008. So it's creeping up in 20 years. But nobody cared on my front. So I never had nobody to talk to about it. Wasn't until I was doing these podcasts and it happened pretty quick. Like within the first few podcasts, I realized that what I'm actually holding on to is a systemic form of teaching mental and emotional literacy, along with teaching emotions as a sixth sense or a new sense if you already have a sixth one. So it's crazy that I've been sitting on this long. I had no idea, but I didn't have a chance to talk about it to anybody. But that aside, that's what's been keeping me down for so long, or occupied, whatever. I want to share something here today that I've never talked about before. It happened to me in 2020, and I don't know how to describe it other than just a miracle of science. I was working as a postal carrier, a rural carrier in Athens, Alabama, just running mail, and we had problems with dogs. I mean, I always had that, and most times I've found that if you charge at the dog and just get big, they'll run and get scared, because I'm a lot bigger than they are, more imposing. But there was one time where I was at the end of my route, and I remember I was walking to the house, and I remember I could see clean through the house. The front door and the back door were both open. I could see clean through to the backyard, and I just dropped the package on the a bench, like right by the door, something right by the door, and then I turned and started walking back to my vehicle so I could leave. And then I remember I heard a dog barking like viciously, and then I turned, and it was like that moment when I was like right about here. Everything went slow motion. Like I could see this dog with his just jaw agape. Like it's just like a 40, 50 pound dog. It was one of those muscly dogs, If this thing got a hold of me, he'd have messed me up, man. But I just remember seeing him just soaring through the air in slow motion and just looking around because like I had time. I had time, man. This dog was jumping through the air at me about to freaking murder me. Dogs are quick as hell, but everything was slow freaking motion. And it was insane. And I remember right as the dog got to me, because I had time to think, what am I going to do? This dog is lunging at me. I had my scanner in my hand. And I just took my scanner, and because I wasn't in slow motion, I was regular motion. He was in slow motion. Everything else was in slow motion. I was in regular motion. I took my hand, went right over his head, and went pop right on top of this thing's head, and he dropped like a stone. And then the owner runs up, but like as soon as he dropped, I went back into the slow motion stopped. It was only into that moment that I was in and out of danger that it happened, and I don't know how to explain it. It was the craziest moment in my life, and I wish I could see that moment from the outside because how fast did my hand had to move in that moment to make that happen? Because if that was going slow motion, I was going regular motion. My hand had to go quick, like Bruce Lee fast, and that's not me. But it's to me, it's like I feel like it's that thing I've read it before, where how we don't see everything we see. The brain records a lot more, and it only gives us a certain picture of what we see. It's kind of like motion pictures, where there's all these snapshots, and in that moment to save myself, it's kind of like how where a mom has super mom strength to raise a car off a toddler, or there was just like one of these survival shows I was watching where there was this mountain climber cat, and then he was climbing up a mat, and there was this gigantic rock that just sheared off and fell back on him, and he just last moment bench pressed it off of him to save his life because it would have crushed him and killed him. But they said the medical report that he activated every muscle fiber in his upper body in that moment to save himself, and it was just like that body's instinctual thing to survive. And I figured that's what I had to tap into somehow, and I equate it because I've spent so long fiddling with my brain housing group. I've been using these tools and techniques to self-actualize, and I tapped into something in that moment. Like I said, it was a miracle moment. I can never explain it. I wish I could see that moment again, but I won't risk my life to get back into it. You know what I mean? I'm not going to try to hurt myself just to get there again. But yeah, that was my miracle of science moment. Anyways, thank you guys for taking the time on me. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm gonna start posting more. Like I said, I just got sidetracked with the podcasting thing. Like, I mean, it's still gonna go on. I had to learn how to regulate and try to make it stream a little better. But thanks, guys. Hope you have a great day and you take care.